with the
with
additional.
with the knife pictures on it for me, 92 and 93. Great. Thank you. All right. I'll take any evidence you have. Perfect. All right. Anything further? All right. We're ready for the jury. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You can have a seat. All right. Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Morning, Mr. Depp.
Morning, Mr. Rodenborn.
Yes, 2 days ago, when you first took the stand, you discussed your upbringing and some of the abuse that you suffered at the hands of your mother. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And you testified how she abused you physically, right?
Yes, sir.
Throwing things at you, hitting you.
Yeah, there was quite a, various forms of physical abuse.
And she abused you verbally by insulting you and your siblings, right?
Yes, she did.
And you testified that sometimes that verbal abuse, that emotional abuse was worse than the beatings, right? Do you remember that?
As a child, it has more of an opportunity to plant itself in your head.
Sure.
Yes.
So you'd agree that abuse can take many forms. It can be physical, can be verbal, can be emotional, right?
Indeed.
And you testified that your dad wasn't abusive, but that you saw him punch walls when he was in an argument with your mother sometimes, right?
Excuse me. I witnessed my father, the only reaction that would be called a physical reaction from the abuse he was very stoically taking from my mother. I saw him maybe twice, 3 times punch a wall. Once, as I said, once he punched the corner of the wall, and I watched his hand basically shatter.
Right. Mr. Depp, your walls weren't the only thing that your father punched, were they? In fact, once he punched you in the face and knocked you down, didn't he?
Yes, when I was 15 years old, this was just before I'd dropped out of high school. One morning, yes, in my mind, I was done with school, so he had asked me to, I believe it was something, it was very, he asked me to take the dog for a walk or something, or take out the garbage, something menial, something strange, and I just said, no. And he just gave me a quick shot, pretty hefty, and it rattled my head, it rattled the cage, you know, Tweety
Sure.
birds and stuff, sure.
So the jury hadn't heard about that before. When he punched you in the face, it actually knocked you to the ground. And then when you got up, you were all too happy to take care of what he wanted you to take care of, right?
I was excited to take care of it at that
Right.
point.
And yesterday, I believe that you testified, why would you hit someone to make them agree with you? It doesn't work. You gave that testimony yesterday, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, you try to conduct yourself as a gentleman, right?
Yes, sir.
And you think that you live up to the standards of a Southern gentleman, right?
That was essentially, you know, when you have deep, deep roots in the South, in Kentucky and such, it's not just your parents, your father, your mother, it's your grandparents, it's your uncles, it's your aunts, it's this, it's that. It's yes, raised to be a Southern gentleman, that is to say, when chivalry was still alive and allowed.
Right. And you think you live up to the standards of a Southern gentleman, correct?
I believe I do. I certainly have done my best all my life.
Paul Bettany's a good friend that you've done drugs with, right?
That's a strange question. Paul Bettany is a good friend. Yes.
You've done drugs with him.
Yes, I have.
Cocaine, right?
Cocaine, yes.
Alcohol,
Alcohol, yes.
pills, including Xanax and Adderall, right?
That I'm not so sure of.